Yes.
Ready? Okay. So we have a viewer question that we're gonna respond to today. It is from Prettdboy, Prettdboy,
Right.
on YouTube. His question is, which do you like / prefer better? Your Fodera Yin Yang or Sandberg? Do you think the Fodera Yin Yang is worth the $5K?
$5K for this one. Well, it's about what? 40 something, 4,500. Go 17 for the Sandberg, right? And the question is, which one do I prefer? That is a great question. That is really, really a good question. So, first off, I would just say this: if you're buying a bass like this Fodera, right? Don't expect the Fodera to make your skills as a bass player get any better. My daughter kind of summed it up best. You know, I was in a store and I was playing all these different basses, right? And she was in there and I said, so, you know, which one do you like? And she said, they all sound the same to me. You know, sound like all the ones that you have at home. And you know why? Because the one common ingredient to every bass that I was playing was me. So don't expect, I don't care how much you pay for the bass, 20,000, 50,000, whatever. Don't expect the bass to change who you are. Now what it will do, or what I can say that it does, is it may bring out more of the player that is in you. So whatever your skill level is, going to bring that out. It's going that's what it's going to do. So when I'm thinking about the Fodera and the Sandberg, the reason why I would say I lean towards my Fodera is because of the fact that this bass felt like home when I played it. So when I say felt like home, it just, this instrument for me, it's like every time I pick it up, I'm always coming up with some kind of groove with it. It's just, you know, it's just, every time I pick it up, it brings something creative out of me. Now, I'm not saying that the Sandberg doesn't do that. I mean, it does. It's a great sounding bass. But for me, that's what makes me prefer the Fodera. Now, the part that's kind of difficult for me is that I have another bass that feels like home for me too, and that is my 1978 Fender Jazz bass. And between this Fodera and that 78 Jazz bass is kind of a toss-up. You know, I mean, that jazz bass still feels like home for me. But it's a similar experience that led me to both. So when I got my Fender Jazz bass, I had you know, one of the original Music Man basses, 4-string bass. I traded it in for a 5-string Music Man. I was looking to add 5-string to my arsenal. And I know I played that 5-string Music Man in the store, and it never quite felt right to me. But I thought that, you know, I just haven't been practicing on it. After a while, I'll get it, right? And when I traded it, I should have known something was up, because they traded that 5-string bass straight up for my Music Man. You know, it was an Ernie Ball 5-string. They, you know, I didn't have to give them extra money, nothing. They just traded it straight up, right? I took that bass home, it never felt right. And after a while, I almost felt like I couldn't play bass anymore. I stopped feeling like a bass player, and I you know, and I think musically, I probably floundered for a good 3 to 4 years, or however long period of time I had. I don't even know if I had it that long, but it felt like eternity. And then one time we went to a music store, and I just happened to see that Fender Jazz bass hanging up, and I picked it up. The neck was completely out of whack. Strings seemed like they were just, I don't know, sky high. And played it and it felt like home. The bass just was it, and I knew I had to have it. So I told them I want to trade them the 5-string Music Man, and they said, hey, yeah, we'll take the Music Man, but give us another $300. And I gave them another $300. I didn't think twice about it, didn't care about it. I just knew I had to have that bass. So similarly is my feeling that I had with this Fodera when I played it. So when I was there, I played it one day, and then I went home, I slept on it, and I came back and I was like, you know, I've got to have this bass. This bass feels like home, and I just knew that if I didn't make the sacrifice and buy the bass, that I would have regretted it. And it just would have turned into a thing for me where I think I would have been feeling like, man, I should have got that, you know, and it would have been a shoulda type thing. And I don't know, if I played another Yin Yang someplace else, it might not have felt the same. And that's why at that time, you know, because they were telling me, oh yeah, we'll send you another one. No, give me this one. Because I want the one that I played. I want the one that I know felt like home to me. And say, but you know, you don't understand, it's been, but I don't care how many times it's been played. Didn't make a difference. Just get me this bass. Because I knew this was the one that felt the way that I wanted it to feel. So that's a similar thing with Sandberg. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that up right quick. So I got that plugged up. And I'm running it through my little Hartke amp over here. And it was the same thing with the Sandberg. It's similar situation where when I went there and I played it and I was looking for a 5, I knew for me I didn't want to have that experience that I had with that 5-string Music Man. And I have a 6-string Peavey Cirrus too. It's just that we're playing in a band now, and the band rehearsals where I was playing that 6-string Cirrus, I mean, it's a great sounding bass, but man, it's just murder for me to play. So it's great for me tracking, but not necessarily for playing live. So I needed to have a bass that was going to give me that B string, but you know, also be very comfortable to play. And that's what I have in the Sandberg, if I can say it. As you know, this is really a nice bass, and you know, if this was my main axe, I wouldn't feel bad about that. You know, because it's just that good of a great sounding bass. Now, at the same token, I have to say this too. I gotta give a shout out to those Marcus Miller basses. So I played the Marcus Miller basses when we were in Chicago. I played the Marcus Miller bass when we were in Paris. Each time, very consistent from bass to bass. All of them felt great. I mean, and the price on those things are just unbelievable. So, you know, if you're looking to get a bass and you're not looking to spend that much for it, but a bass that feels really good, that I think is very versatile bass, those Marcus Miller basses are really great basses. I didn't play a 5, but I did play the 4s, and the 4 strings are just amazing basses. So the thing I like about Sandberg, and I think, you know, I've indicated that in the Sandberg video, is the fact that this Sandberg, to me, is a 5 that feels like a 4. So, to kind of wrap this thing up, I think it's very subjective as to whether or not you would like the $5,000 Fodera over the Sandberg. I know for me, it's more of a feel thing. It really doesn't have to deal with sound quality. I think between the two of them, I can't really say that there's a big difference in sound. I mean, the Sandberg holds its own, so it definitely has that. And you know, there are a couple of nice conveniences that I think the Sandberg actually has over the Fodera, which is like the battery compartment here on the back. It's easily kind of get at. All you gotta do is kind of pop this thing out. Whereas with the Fodera, you have to take off the back panel in order to get to the battery. I mean, that's a small thing, but still, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. And both basses are very well made. You know, and that Fodera, the bass just calls me. It just calls my name. So that's kind of the answer to that question. But that was a great question. You guys keep them coming. You know, hit me up if you want to know something else about, you know, what we got going on. If you want to see other videos or whatever else, just let us know. I really do appreciate it. All right, peace out, y'all.
Check out Sandberg in action.